People have been putting out sub 20-second video clips out on social media. YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikTok videos, literally 10 to 20 seconds sometimes, and sometimes even less than that. So you might be asking, why are they doing that? Now, of course, I'm probably going to get a keyboard warrior that's out there like, you're one of the reasons why like people's attention spans are going, lower than a goldfish or whatever. Like, guys, we're already there. I'm not the contributor here. I'm the messenger telling you guys what's going on here, right? So here's the thing is if you've seen like videos out there, I've been seeing a lot of like Gary Vaynerchuk videos. Alex Hormozi was the first one I noticed that started to do this a lot, where he would put out like sometimes an 8-second video or 10-second video and it would just loop, but it was still delivering a lot of value. And I had a question, why are they doing that? Because don't we want people to stay on the videos longer? And in theory, it's like, yeah, like the longer we can extend videos out to 60 seconds for most of these platforms. Why don't we do that? On YouTube Shorts, you can do up to, I think, 90 seconds, depending on when you're watching this video. That might change at some point, but it's interesting to see because we're thinking like, well, don't we want longer videos going out as opposed to just shorter videos? But there is a method to the madness here, and I'm going to try to explain this as thoroughly as possible with the data and the information that I've gathered out of the 1,200 plus social media posts that my team puts out on a weekly basis, and just observe to see what's been going on. So to understand this concept, we have to be thinking about what works with the social media algorithms. How does it actually feed into people's feeds? So the way it works is basically based on two things. Now, depending on who you talk to, it might be a few more things, or it might be just one thing, or it's just random. But the way that I've observed it, and from other professionals that are in our space, is it matters with the click-through rate, which is also on social media, the thumb stopping rate, whatever you want to call it, and the retention rate. The retention rate probably being the biggest between the two. But it's basically like, as I'm scrolling through social media, am I getting people to stop on my video? Like their thumb is stopping on the video to watch it. And then after that, the retention rate is, now are they actually staying engaged on my video and watching the whole video? And the way that retention rates work is it's based on percentage of video watched. So if I put out a 60-second video, but people are only watching 5 seconds of that video because I didn't keep them engaged enough and they're scrolling past, and that's the majority of my viewership is only lasting 5 seconds on my 60-second video, then my retention rate is going to be trash. Like, it's not going to be good at all. So the social media algorithm is basically going to say, well, Josh's video was not valuable, so let's not show it to anybody else. We've already tested it. Like, nobody wants it. It's not relevant because they're only watching 5 seconds of the 60 seconds. So my percentage is really, really low. And then that's where I get, 50 views on a video or 100 views on a video. Then if we look at like videos that are 8 seconds long, for example, so I went from a 60-second to an 8-second or a 10-second video, but people are watching 5 seconds of a 10-second video, that's a 50% retention rate. So now my retention rate went through, like way through the roof compared to only 5 seconds, whatever that percentage is. I suck at math, so somebody in the comments do it. But 5 seconds of a 60-second video, whatever that percentage is much less than 5 seconds of a 10-second video. And so here's the thing, is that's why people are doing it, is because the retention rate is maximized by the shorter length of the videos. Additionally, another thing that I look at that really doesn't show up on paper or in analytics is how long does it actually take you to get the word out, right? Like the word being like the actual statement or the question or the thing that you're trying to get across in the video. If you ever observe and watch Alex Hormozi's videos, one of the things he's really excellent at is being able to contextualize in a very short amount of time an example or something that he's trying to get across, a statement or a notion or some sort of theory or whatever. He's very good at compressing it and getting it out in a short amount of time. So the way that he probably looks at it is, if it only takes me 10 seconds to say the thing that I need to say, why would I waste any more seconds on the rest of the video? Because it's kind of irrelevant. I've already said what I need to say, and now I'm done. And it only took me just 10 seconds. Why would I maximize the other 50 seconds of a 60-second video? That's the way that they're looking at it too. So when I'm training my video editors to edit videos, generally speaking, what I teach them is the same concept. I say, if a client, if we're chopping, especially if you're chopping videos. Now, if you're recording individually for social media, this concept might be different. So just keep that in mind. But if I'm utilizing, say, a 20-minute podcast interview and I'm chopping clips from that, repurposing it for social, I tell my editors, if somebody's making a statement and it only takes them 22 seconds for them to make the statement, it makes sense. It had a good hook. It got to the point. It delivered value. It didn't end on a cliffhanger, and it all wrapped up and made sense, and it could stand alone on its own video. Then it's a 22-second video. There's no need to go beyond that. You don't need to extend it all the way to the 60 seconds. So that's what I've been teaching my editors lately. So some of the videos that we've been putting out have been shorter videos, and it's proven that those videos are actually going higher into the algorithm, getting a lot more organic views because the retention rate is better. Now, obviously, like best practices, like it doesn't need to be said, we want to focus on making sure that we keep people engaged throughout, whether it's a 10-second video or a 60-second video. That goes without saying. That's the idea, right? We don't want to make an excuse and say, we're going to just put out 10-second videos because the way that we edit videos does not keep people engaged. Like, we still want to keep people engaged because, like, you could have a 300% retention rate because if somebody watches a video 3 times over and over again because they were that interested in it, or maybe they wanted to hear that statement again, then your retention rate's 300%, right? So we want to achieve that, which means that we still have to keep them engaged. But that doesn't give an excuse to say like, well, we're only going to edit 10-second videos versus 60-second videos because we're having a hard time engaging. If it truly does take 60 seconds for something to be said and a point to be made, then we definitely need to keep that video as lengthy as we need it to be. And so we still have to edit it to retain engagement, right? So that's not an excuse. This isn't a cop-out to just like ditch the editing and all the effort that goes into that, and make sure that we have good hooks, make sure we're getting to the point quickly. That's all something that still needs to be done. So that being said, this was kind of more of like an explainer video more than like a tutorial or anything like that. It's something that maybe you should test out in your marketing. Like if you have a business and you're putting out social media videos and you're thinking like, I've seen some of these shorter videos, do they actually work? Test it out, see if it works for you. I would say like if you I get made fun of because I always use the donut shop example, but if you have a donut shop and you have a video that teaches people how to make your own donut, if it only takes you 10 seconds to show people, like maybe you have a bunch of clips stitched together and it's literally just the steps, then just keep it at 10 seconds. But if you think you can maximize it and still retain your retention rate to 50 or 60 seconds, then do it. But there's only one way to run your marketing is to test. So that's what I would encourage you to do today. Just test it and see what works for you. So in theory, I wanted to provide you a theory. I wanted to provide you with something that you can test in your marketing and see if it works. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this did bring a little bit of light to like kind of the shift in what's been going on in these shorter clips that are going out. It's no secret that like some people are putting out shorter and shorter and shorter clips. And then we make the argument of like, that's why our attention span is shrinking and that sort of thing. It's either we can do something about it or we just complain about it. And I'm over here like, let's do something about it. Like, let's see if that actually works and if it does make sense. So thank you guys for watching. If you found value in this, leave a comment below. You can also find me on social media on Facebook or Instagram. Look up Josh Culler. I am verified. Send me a direct message and say, like, I watched your YouTube video. It made sense to me, or I had more questions, and I'd be happy to hop on a call with just about anyone. So other than that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.